and welcome to this week's Barnstorming. I'm here with actor-producer Jonathan Lipnicki. Now, you first knew him as that adorable little Ray Boyd in the movie Jerry Maguire, and then as the adorable Tony Thompson in the movie The Little Vampire, and who can forget that adorable little George Little in Stuart Little. Well, I'm here to tell you he's not so little anymore. He's an MMA fighter. And I met him a few days ago at the movie premiere of a killer clown movie called Circus Kane, which stars him and my husband, Ted Monty, which will be released this week. So welcome, Jonathan. Hey, was your mom at the screening?
Yeah. My mom's the best supporter ever, and from the beginning, she's always gone to premieres with me. My dad was there too. Actually, I have a great support system. So I had my stepbrothers, my stepsister, my stepmom, my stepdad, my mom, my dad all came. It was really cool.
Gosh, I'm so glad you said all that, because I was trying to figure it out, especially when I saw a picture on Twitter and you were an extra large. So what was the deal with you wearing an extra large to your dad's wedding? I'm just curious.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why, but my dad decided that we were going to... Okay, so I was his best man, but he decided we were going to wear matching Hawaiian shirts. Uh-huh. And I've never been a large in my life. I'm not a big guy. My dad's a big guy. I'm not. My dad decided to get me... I think it might have just been a really large, like not an actual extra large, but it was huge. Yeah. And I look at it and I'm like, Dad, like this is like a tent for me. Yeah. And I look so ridiculous that I just was making jokes about it the whole night. And my sister took a picture of me, and my friends always reference the extra large Hawaiian shirt I had to wear for my dad's wedding. Yeah,
and because the way it was shot from up tall, and so your legs looked really tiny.
Little,
you did kind of look a little like a human Stuart Little.
I was like a little, I was tiny I felt so tiny. And the funny thing is, my dad's very straightforward, but forgets to mention things all the time that are happening very soon after. So he was like, here's this shirt, you're wearing this. And then 5 minutes before he wanted me to go give him a toast, he's like, you're doing a toast. Never told me I was doing a toast. Yeah. And so I was like, I got so nervous, downed my champagne, and I went and I was like, and I just made it up on the spot and tried to make some jokes, and they didn't, my jokes weren't funny and nobody laughed. But, I tried on the spot to do something funny. But my dad is so funny like that. He's just, here's his shirt. Oh yeah, you're speaking right now. I'm like, what do you mean I'm speaking right now? He's like, oh, you're doing a toast. Like, what? Do
you find that you get more nervous in life, like say when you have to do a test, than being on a set, because you are on set, etc.? But every child actor that I've met, or people that started like in their teens, they seem really relaxed on set.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the set, definitely. The first day for me, I'm always nervous. First day of every project, I'm like, I hope everyone's nice. It's like the first day of school, I'm like, I hope everyone likes me, And definitely I warm up as the process goes along. After the first day, I'm generally good. Sometimes I'm a little more nervous on certain sets. I don't know why. I couldn't really tell you why. I have no clue. But it will take me sometimes a little to warm up. But I'm definitely more nervous in real life. Definitely have a little bit of social anxiety. And I'm more nervous doing stuff like taking pictures, like at the premiere. Like, I get nervous doing that because I'm like, I probably blinked during that, or I smiled weird, or like... Sometimes, talking to people at a premiere, I never want to be like, I don't know, arrogant or anything. I'm like, just like, I hope they enjoy it. I want everyone to have a good time. So I definitely get a lot of nerves during public type stuff like that, where I'm being Jonathan Lipnicki, not being, a character.
I feel that maybe I'm worried that I'm going to come across superficial or fake, because you just have those little glibs and you're amped and you're hyper. But it's like when you were, I know, you were how old? I'm sorry, when you did Jerry Maguire?
Almost 5.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, almost 5. So do you think that you actually really do remember any of it, or do you think, because when I'm a kid and I have memories of what I did, I don't know whether it's my memory or that my parents told me so many times. So that's why I wonder. You might have some.
A mixture of. But there are certain things. The interesting thing about memories when you're young like that is, people will be like, "Do you have any funny stories from set?" Maybe one or two. But what I do remember is like a smell of a shirt. And one time I'll smell it and I'll remember, that was a shirt that smells like the shirt I wore in Jerry, like weird things like that. Or like I'll remember a shirt I wore in a movie. I remember coming across The Little Vampire recently and seeing a picture of it and going, oh my God, I remember those sneakers that I wore in it. I mean, just the most random little things I feel like. But there are definitely little chunks I remember, but there's a lot I don't. And as time goes along, I feel like story and memory kind of mesh together and you don't know what's what.
So I'm just kind of... Do you study, or have you studied
yes,
acting? Or do you still study?
I studied Meisner primarily, and I study with a guy named Joshua Baton right now, who I met because of him in a movie.
Very cool. Which was that?
It was called For the Love of Money. It was with James Caan and Paul Sorvino.
Okay.
It was 2010. And I met this guy, incredible actor, and also was great at explaining things. I got in some great talks with him about acting, and we agreed on a lot, and there was a lot I learned from him. And then I ended up learning a tremendous amount from him because he was auditioning for a play, and they needed a younger version, and he really wanted to book the part in the play because it was a really, really well-written play. And he hits me up and he goes, hey, if we both go in and nail this, we'll get it because we look, a lot alike, and we have a good shot at getting this. So I read the play. It was amazing. It was called Lost Girls. I went and I did this play, ended up booking it, did this play with him for 6 months.
Wow.
And I learned a lot from this guy. He helped me, study. I was doing a Boston accent. He helped me with that. I worked with him, and I'm like, this guy's incredible. And he's like, well, I do also have a class if you ever want to try it out, no pressure. And the class has been tremendous for me. And
was that your first time? Was that the first time that you had actually thought about studying from him?
No, I did. I was also at Playhouse West out in the Valley for 4 years before that.
Is that also Meisner Playhouse?
Yeah, that's
West?
Meisner. Yeah.
Was that one that Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum,
Yeah.
And he's come back every once in a while there. But I learned a great foundation there. It was really good for me for those years, and then I felt like I was getting too comfortable, and then I switched over to Josh's class and was uncomfortable in the best way possible, and I've been learning a lot and growing there. And I'd never done classes until I was 18 or theater, and then I did
For the Love of that was that your first play?
No, that was a movie. The Girls.
I'm sorry, Lost Girls.
My first actual theater job was I understudied Lieutenant of Inishmore at the Mark Taper.
Oh, wow.
And that was my first ever theater job, was getting the understudy in that. I got, it got down to the wire. I got very close to actually getting the role. And then when I didn't get it, my agent had the great idea saying, I think you'll learn a lot if let's see if they'll, take you on as an understudy. I think you'll learn a lot. And they did. And that was a really great learning experience. It was when Chris Pine was doing it.
Oh, my goodness, because he's done tons.
Yeah.
You mean the father or the son? Yeah. Because, that's right. His father's is Robert Pine.
Yeah.
Pine. And he's part of the Antaeus Theater.
Oh, yeah, and they're great.
Am I saying that right?
Antaeus.
I always add extra syllables. Yeah.
And I've seen some shows there. They're really, really good.
Yeah. The guy who I study with, Cameron Watson.
I know Cameron. I know Cameron, yeah.
God, how do you know Cameron?
Through Rogue Machine Theater.
The Rogue Machine. And
that's where I did Lost Girls.
Oh.
So Cameron's amazing. Cameron's a great guy.
Did Cameron direct it? No.
No, I just met him through...
Oh my God.
I had a play in one space when he had a play in the other, and he was...
He was doing Cock? Was he doing Cock?
Yeah, he was doing that after... I think it was after. Was Cock during? I think it was after.
Yeah.
Awesome. I actually met him years ago. I auditioned for a play he did, or that he was directing. But he's I forget the name of it. I remember it was a really bad audition. So when I re-met him, I apologized.
No, he doesn't have any memory.
and he goes, "No, you were fine, man. You were really good."
Oh no, he's.
And I was like, I was like, "No, I wasn't. I remember it. I remember how bad this was." I cried.
And he now has one coming out at the Rogue Machine.
Yeah,
they must have some serious money behind them, because they have the one that's down on Adams Street. Have the one on Lancashire, which I recently went to. Another guy in class was understudying somebody, and he was amazing. And then they have another one that Cam opens with, I think in a couple of weeks. It's called Stupid, and it's that one on Magnolia. Still, both of them are NoHo. So I don't know what kind of money's behind there, but it's just at LA Theater. It's so rare for them to,
Exactly. I feel people really underrate it. I mean, there's a lot of junk, but there's a lot of junk also in New York. But then there's also There's good stuff and bad stuff everywhere, you know.
Yeah, I met Cam. Good.
Yeah, and I've seen some great stuff in LA. I've seen some really powerful theater.
Well, if you want to hop on over to classes, I mean, I would, you know, well, I know he would welcome you into our scene study
awesome,
because Ted also studies with them.
Okay,
as well. So it's not studying; it's like doing just a lot of scene work.
Well, you gotta tell him I say hi. Yeah,
I definitely will. And he
great.
used to be, he still is an actor, but I met him when he was an actor. I was in a play with him. So,
do you know Becca Tripp then?
Yes, I do. Of course I know Becca Tripp.
I worked with her too. She's great.
In what? Yeah, because she does a lot of work with him.
I did. It's a funny story, and I won't go into details of it because I just would.
Rebecca has a fabulous. I think she just had a baby.
Yeah,
did she just have a baby? Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I ended up. I ended up having a. And this is the only time this ever happened in my life. I ended up having a certain difficulty with a certain director. So me and her were doing a show together, and I love her. She's great. And I ended up parting ways from the show before it went on, which was, you know, not 100% my choice. Because I would have loved to stay with the show, but you know, sometimes things happen and there's creative differences.
Exactly.
But she's amazing. She's incredible person and actress. Yeah.
She's really talented.
Yeah.
She's really solid.
Yeah.
She last time I saw her, she hadn't had her baby yet, and she looks great pregnant. She carries her baby well.
She's awesome. I really enjoyed working with her. I feel like you take little bits from everybody you work with, and I, you know, definitely learn from her.
I'm glad you quit, though. I mean, or whatever the circumstance. You know why?
You know, it's sometimes a hard circumstance.
It's equity waiver.
Yeah.
So my point is, you know, all they pay for is your equity waiver, right? They pay $14 a day if you're lucky for your gas. Mm-hmm. So I think plays, if it's free, should be enjoyment. I've left a few productions as well.
You know, and it was one of those things. It was very hard for me because I put a lot of time and effort into it, and I put a lot of love into when I work, and it was just, you know, a creative differences I had with the director, and I tried, you know, my best to be the best collaborator, and I put my best foot forward. And sometimes, you know, stuff happens, and I wish that director nothing but, you know, success in the future, and I think she, you know, is great.
But from far, far away. I always have it. I wish him luck, but from very far away.
You know, just sometimes people don't mesh, you know, and that happens, and I have nothing but respect for everyone who's involved with that.
You are so darn... This is what I, you know, obviously I just met you a few days ago, but I love your Facebook and your Twitter, and as people that know me know, I'm not a big Facebook and Twitter person. Because you say the truth. I mean, you say positive, excuse me, am I too close to the mic? I'm popping. You say positive things, and then you say, oh, God, yesterday was a bad day. I got bummed. I lost a job. I was looking forward to it. And then you go back up and you go, you know, you go, but I worked out. I had the discipline. I had the strength. I'm moving forward. And I went, who is this person? So you do that MMA. You are an MMA. You could be an MMA fighter.
I could just consider myself a martial artist. You know,
I mean, you haven't been in an actual fight. I hope not.
No. You know, I've definitely tossed around the idea of it because I love training so much. But you know what? I have so much respect for what those guys do. A lot of my friends do it professionally, and I never want to be like, I'm an MMA fighter, because I see what they put in every single day. hard craft. You know, and they are artists of that craft, and they're amazing, and they put so much work in that I don't want to ever take anything away from them by calling myself, you know, a mixed martial arts fighter. Am I a mixed martial artist? Yes. But,
and is that what the Muay Thai is?
Yeah, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling.
So it does combine Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling?
Yeah, so mixed martial arts combines all those things. Usually people study some form of striking, like Muay Thai, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the ground game, and wrestling.
Is Muay Thai Japanese or is it Thai?
Thai.
Oh, it is Thai.
Yeah.
So it's all Thai. The different. I'm just curious.
Oh, different. Muay Thai is Thai. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is Brazilian, and then I mean they have American wrestling. You know.
Okay. Is there any Japanese in there? Korean. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot. I mean, a lot of
Aikido.
Fighters come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So they have that in there. It's just the most common is probably the Muay Thai Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu combination.
Now, when did you start doing that?
I started doing Jiu-Jitsu when I was a little before, maybe 16, 17.
Okay.
It's been about 10 years.
Do you know why you started? Did you feel like you were gaining weight, or you wanted some kind of discipline? Or?
You know, I was in really great shape. I was playing water polo in high school, and one of my friends started doing jiu-jitsu, and I had tried it and done it a little bit as a kid, like for actually a few years as a kid, but didn't do it, too seriously. It was like a 1 or 2 day a week